What's going on? Getting started in just a second. Get my chat out. Got to get a few things set up. All right. Getting started just a second. Okay. One moment.
Has it got worse?
All right, guys. Getting started in a second. God, I'm so tired of people being like, if I call 3-4 inches for an area and they get 5-6 and they're like, you were wrong. I'm like, good. You should be happy I was wrong. We've got underperformances here and we've got overperformances here. Almost like it's a winter storm, right? Pretty common. That's why I say it in all my lives. You're going to have bands that way overperform certain areas. You're going to have bands that way underperform. Nothing's new. The sky's still blue. Clouds are still white and gray. Water's still wet. You're going to overperform in some areas and you're going to underperform. But, you know, doesn't shock me. Never does. Never will. Predicting exact totals by zip code or by city is impossible, and it will never be possible in my lifetime. As technology advances, maybe it will be in a couple hundred years. Not in my lifetime. That's why we predict regional snowfall. All right, let's get into this, guys. 1 second. I need a Red Bull. Yeah. I think we almost hit... Did we almost hit a foot in a part of Louisiana? I saw 10.5 inches. I saw 10.5 inches. Let me see here. We'll get started in 1 second, guys. Yeah, highest snow total amount currently. We saw a 10.5. We saw an 11 inch in Alabama. I'm trying to figure out where in Alabama. Must have been near the coast. Let's see. We saw 11 inches in Alabama. Let's see where it is. 1 second, guys. I want to see where this is. Babby, Alabama. Oh, my gosh. It's being reported. Oh, right there. Wow. Nice. Highest reported right now in Louisiana is 10.5. I have a feeling someone might have gotten more than that, though. Yeah. There are places in Louisiana over 12 inches. I'm going to wait for the weather service to report that, because the problem is a lot of people measure on snowdrift. So if there's snow blowing off of your roof, there's snow that blows and piles up higher in certain areas. So unless you measure it on an area with no snowdrift, which is usually a big open plain field, it's hard to get exact totals. But with totals up to 10.5, someone probably got over a foot. Someone probably saw over a foot. Pretty crazy. You guys can see the differences here, though. I mean, you go from right here. This is what we're talking about with banding. I mean, they're reporting 9 inches here, 3 inches here, 7 inches here, 5 inches here. Do you guys see what I'm saying? How sporadic this is? Very sporadic. Overall, though, this was the consensus of the highest snowfall, and it did well, and it overperformed slightly. So that's good. We're getting overperformances along the coast through the panhandle of Florida. We're getting a lot of overperformances, and like I said, I mean, that's what I want it for. What are we reporting in Charlotte? 0.5 inch. That's nice. I said there was a chance we'd get a little accumulation in Charlotte, upstate South Carolina, which we are. Not seeing crazy totals, but we're getting some. And there's more to come. Raleigh and Durham right now, guys, if I'm not mistaken, and we'll go over this, has a pretty heavy band over them right now. You can see this right here. Raleigh and Durham, and this is going to switch to a half an inch per hour to about an inch per hour very soon. Raleigh and Durham might get a lot more snow than expected. They might see an overperformance. National Weather Service is still predicted about 5 to 6 up the coast here. But these snow totals, these snow accumulations are going to start switching from half an inch an hour to an inch an hour. So this may be overperformances for everyone. We love to see it. I posted on my TikTok. I released a video. I posted a video on the 23rd of December. And in the video, I said this. Ready, guys? In the video, I said this. We're going to get started here, and I'm going to start answering all your questions. Here's what I said, because everyone kept saying, we're never going to get snow in the South. It hasn't snowed in Louisiana in 15 years. And blah, 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 blah. And it inspired me to make a video telling everyone, calm down. You're going to get snow in the South again. It's going to snow, and you'll have the chance to break records. So here's what I said. Are you ready? Here's what I said.
Snow line, even though it's not moving that fast. But in these areas that are seeing these heavier rainfalls that
1 month ago
used to be snow, you will actually have an increased chance to break snow records if you do have a shot of cold air moving in at the right time. Really, this just means that these areas will see snow less consistently, but when they see it, they're going to see a lot of it.
Boom! Posted that on December 23rd to shut everyone up that we're never going to see snow again in the South. I said, you're going to see snow again, and when you do, you're probably going to break records. Anyways, let's get into it. December 23rd. I posted that 4 weeks ago. Everyone, the Earth's warming. The snow line's moving to the north. Yeah, it's moving about 50 feet to the north. The globe's warmed up by about 1.5 degrees in 200 years. Everyone, don't panic. We're still getting snow in the South. Big blizzards are still possible. That's what I said in that video a month ago. And thank the heavens they brought this, because now everyone will stop spamming my inbox like they had the last month saying I was an idiot and we're not getting any more southern snow and we're never going to see it again. Okay, this isn't going to be the last major snowstorm that Florida or Louisiana gets. Maybe this year. But forget about climate change and global warming, all that. We're in a warming cycle on the planet. The planet warms and cools. That's why we have ice ages. The Earth, it would be warming whether we were on the planet or not. And that puts more evaporation, more energy into the air. With more moisture in our atmosphere, you're going to see bigger snowstorms. So, yes, the Earth warming will mean less ice on the Earth, but it, for a while, will not mean less snow. It'll mean more snow. Okay? And I was waiting for something like this to happen, and I'm glad it happened. Potentially 1 foot of snow into southern Louisiana. We're not done seeing snow. The Earth is not heating that quick. The snow line isn't moving that quick. Although it is. It is heating and it is moving very slowly. Okay? These things happen very slowly. Miami is not going to be underwater next week. Maybe in 1,000 years. This is great. I'm so glad everyone in the South got to see snow. Some of these places in Atlanta and Alabama just got 2 snowstorms within 2 weeks of each other. So, again, thank the heating of the Earth for putting more moisture into the air. The heating's happening very slowly, insignificantly slowly, but that's what helps you get bigger snowstorms in the South. That's why we're breaking records. It's awesome. Rant over. Hey guys, how's it going? Let me read some comments real quick before I get started. Sleeting like crazy in Charleston. That'll change over to snow. Don't you worry about that. How dare you be off by an inch or two? I know. Listen, if I get upset if I think your baseline 1 to 2 and you get no snow. That upsets me. But it's gonna happen. I'm not upset if you overperform my expectation on snow total. You get lucky and you get a band setting up over your city and you overperform it by 6 inches. I am so happy for you. I have no problem being wrong, being under. I have a problem. I don't want to tell people they have a chance to see snow, or that I think they're going to see snow and then they're not going to see it. Will, Odd, Misty, Heather, I appreciate you guys. Snowing in Pittsburgh, is it? You got some flurries moving through there. We're gonna get into our latest models and everything, guys. Let's see what's going on up there in Pittsburgh. Oh yeah, you got some flurries in the air. Yeah, I can see that, guys. This little gap, if you can see Radar Omega, if you're on YouTube on the left, and if you're on TikTok on the bottom, that is a radar that is down because of the winter storm. So there's not no snow. If you guys see Radar Omega at the bottom on TikTok or left on YouTube, there's not no snow in this corridor. The radar is literally broken. Okay, so it is not snowing over like Sumter and stuff. Like there's snow falling in these areas. There's moisture. Obviously, someone said there's sleet falling in Charleston. Don't worry, that is going to turn into snow, and that is going to turn into snow that's going to potentially drop an inch an hour. Potentially. This thing is really kicking into full gear, and it's crazy looking. Middle of Georgia's coming down steady still. Yeah, I more like to look at this radar. This looks like it's snowing everywhere. Here's where it's actually snowing. You see these yellow bands. Valdosta is about to get a soaker. I think Valdosta is about to get a lot of snow moving in, a heavy snow, or it's experiencing. If someone's in Valdosta, you could be in mixing though. You could be dealing with sleet right now, but it's a heavy band of whatever's coming down right there. Like Douglas, Georgia, you're getting it. Baxley, Jessup, Hinesville. Some of these places are going to be sleet though. Reedsville, Glenville, moving up towards Pembroke, Statesboro, here it comes. Savannah, your heaviest precipitation is going to start moving in soon, and it's going to slowly start transitioning into all snow. Tallahassee, I think your snow rates, well, you're in a little bit of a gap right now, but up to the north, Quincy, Thomasville, I mean, you guys are getting tons of snow. Apalachicola, I don't know what your situation is there, if you're mixing or not. I can go check. Let's see what we're looking like on the ground over there. Hold up one second, guys. I'm gonna get into all your questions. What are our temperatures looking like? Yeah, you see, just above freezing. You could still be having snow into there though. Panhandle's still getting it. Yeah, southeastern Georgia's up next. I mean, central to southern, and then eastern Georgia is up next. There are some heavier snow bands though, actually moving through North Carolina as we speak. So that's interesting. Here's the latest from the NWS guys, National Weather Service. This might actually underperform. So the latest of what they think is still to fall is potentially on the shore of North Carolina, up to 6 inches to fall. Oh, sorry, let me move this over so you guys can see that. 6 inches out here, and potentially 5 along the coast. And then pushing in towards Raleigh, they think we could see maybe an inch or two. Still, I think we're going to see more than some of this. And then you can see they still want it really 1 to 3 inches all the way down here to the south. I think we're going to overperform this as well. I think this is going to shoot up a tiny bit. Our snow, we're going to move from about a half an inch an hour into an inch an hour in a lot of these areas. We're starting to pull a lot of moisture in off the Atlantic as well. This low pressure is deepening. It's a little ahead of schedule. It's a little bit deeper of a low than we expected. Yali G, I appreciate you guys. What's going on, Gianna? Sad to say, Northeast Atlanta really only a dusting. Yeah, yep. There are portions. There are areas up there in the north that got a little bit of snow. Charlotte's almost at a half inch in some areas, which is. I mean, I wouldn't say surprising. As I said yesterday on stream, there are going to be scattered snow showers up here that could drop snow quickly. Charlotte had a little bit of a snow shower come through and drop like a 1/4 inch to a half an inch of snow really quickly. There are some other areas in upstate South Carolina that had a little bit of banding. If anyone's in upstate South Carolina, some areas actually received a half inch or more of snow accumulation. So you've seen those showers up here. There's some areas that have hit an inch up through here too. But again, your blanket of snow is down to the south. As we move forward in time right now, it's going to really start to flatten, and you're going to stop seeing precipitation out here. And we'll get into that, what's going on right now. Let's go down to our southeast real quick. I'm going to start answering all your questions. Just give me 2 more seconds, guys. We'll just take a look at our latest HRRR. Our HRRR has been a little weird, but we'll take a look at our 01Z. Here's what's going on. You'll see it. You'll see it's going to start to really, this weather's going to really start to flatten out. This banding or this blanket of snow here. It's going to start to compress a tiny bit, but you can see as we move forward in time, you're going to see this. Now, this right here, probably about 4 hours from this snow right here, right through this corridor, this is going to be an inch or more an hour of snow. This is going to be fast accumulating snow. Everywhere you see hot pink, that's like an inch to 2 inches an hour. I think it's going to be about an inch an hour. And you can see in areas like Savannah, where you're still struggling with sleet right now. You can see this right here on our latest HRRR. Still struggling with sleet. Let's move forward a few hours. You should be in good snow. So I still worry about a little bit about mixing, that this may not be picking up, but I think it's gonna be pretty good snow. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. I'm gonna get into chat a little bit. Landon, I appreciate you. Good evening, sir. We got anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of snow here in the Houston area last night and this morning. I think, what did I say in my stream yesterday? 2 to 3 inches in Houston. Got that correct. Some of the only places I got wrong were I was conservative on snow totals, and I'd rather be conservative on snow totals. So I'm fine with you guys completely in some areas exceeding my expectations. I really thought those portions of Louisiana, my high end was 9. Seeing maybe a foot in some of those areas, which is awesome. It's coming down solid right now in Warner Robins. Nice. 22. How do you pronounce that? Toccoa, Georgia? Fantastic. That means, well, if there's accumulation there, it's going to be heavy. I mean, it's going to be quick. What's going on, Lake? It snowed in Mooresville, North Carolina for a few hours. Yep, I got family there. I heard. My brother was FaceTiming me too. I told him there was a chance, and my friend there said there's no snow on my weather app today. There's none. There's not. It doesn't say anything about snow on my weather app today. And I said, I know, but you're going to have snow showers in the area. You're going to be freezing, and any precipitation that falls is going to accumulate a little bit. And it did. Not much, but it did. The app was wrong. Shocker. Any more in Charlotte? Potentially over the next hour. You can see what's going on here. Now, you can't really because this radar's busted. I'm down on radar Omega. You're going to have a little bit more moisture moving through for the next hour or two that could potentially drop a little bit more in Charlotte. Again, you're going to need a little bit of luck on your side, but you've already gotten a little bit. So there's some small banding moving up towards the Charlotte area, so it's not impossible. We got 10 to 12 in Baton Rouge. Yeah, I know. We've been looking at snow totals. I know it's great. Right now, I mean, yeah, they need to. Well, I don't know why we're not getting any reporting out of Baton Rouge. This says 1.5 inches, and I know that's wrong. So someone needs to go down there and measure some. Look. Does no one report snow in Baton Rouge? Hello, everyone over here in Lafayette's like, look how much snow we got. No one's reporting in Baton Rouge, but I can assume on this line towards Baton Rouge, yeah, wouldn't be surprised. Again, I did think 8 or 9 was possible as a high end. You guys exceeded it, which just goes to show. I mean, that the video I showed you guys when I started this stream, that was a TikTok post I made a month ago, saying I wouldn't be surprised to see record snow in low elevation and low to mid latitude areas because of the extra moisture we have in the air. From how warm we were this last year, from all these record heat months in the northern hemisphere. So, you know what? That just goes to show people don't need to worry about losing snow because the Earth's warming a little bit. You got a lot more moisture in the air when the Earth warms, and the Earth is warming at a very, 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 very slow clip of about 0.1 degree every 30 years, 20 years. Let's see here. I mean, it's something we should worry about, but don't worry about losing your snow. It doesn't move. It's not happening that quick. I'm not going to get into that, but let's see here. Question: it looks like here in Louisville, it's going to be warm in February. Any chance for cold air? I made my February outlook. I was very confident in it. I still am confident in it. Our GFS came out and said, no, we're keeping it cold in the East. You guys want to see this real quick? The GFS said, nope. Guys, for anyone in the East, I want you to see this. The GFS said, nope, we're going to keep it cold in the East 3 months straight below average. We're going to keep giving chances for snowstorms out there. That's what the GFS said. I'm sticking with what I said. I think it's wrong. We can go to our Euro 12Z. Let me show you here and the teleconnections super quickly. The Euro likes a shift, but it likes the shift to your kind of positive EPO around the 4th of February instead of when I thought it would be maybe around the 2nd. So a few days later, getting that ridging out here, hotter air, low. So warm and dry, cold and troughing, or cold and moist out there in the west. So I'm still looking at I'm still looking at our teleconnections and looking at a positive AO, looking at a positive EPO, meaning a warm up is coming to the east. Looking at a positive NAO, which would mean a little, warmer air in the west, not the east. So WPO. This actually is interesting. This would actually put some colder air into the east, but this is fighting all of our other teleconnections. So, it still looks like a warm up for the east in February, at least through the first, maybe not starting February 1st, maybe starting around the 3rd to the 5th, and it's going to last 2 or 3 weeks, I think. And then we'll see. We're going to have a lot of very cold air building up in the Arctic. The longer this Arctic oscillation stays positive, guys, the longer this stays positive, this is like, when this is positive, this is basically, imagine a force field around the Arctic air. This strengthens your force field of winds and allows that air to build to get super, super, super cold. And then eventually, if it breaks again at the end of February, which it might, it super, super dumps that cold air in. That could give us a very, very dangerous tornado season, severe weather season, and a late. That's kind of what happened with the 93 blizzard, but you need a bunch of other crazy stuff to happen for that. So don't be expecting a 93 storm. But a big plunge of cold air, a big drop in your AO, a big negative AO push in late February and March can give you a big late winter storm as well. So lots of fun stuff to look forward to, I think, at the end of February and the beginning of March. For you guys out east, I think for you guys out west, you're gonna see a little bit your winter pick up for a couple weeks here in February. You guys are already getting some snow down there through the Rockies and potentially into Arizona and New Mexico here over the weekend. So here, let me push back down here for you guys. Let me actually do this. Let me do this so you guys can see what's going on. I like this radar because although you can't see what's snow, you guys know our snow line on here is about, you've got a little bit of mixing through here. This is all about the transition into snow, but really everywhere through here is snow. And where you see these brighter oranges and yellows and these brighter greens, these are heavy snow bands. See these? These are heavy snow bands, okay? These are heavy snow bands. Where you see the bright greens, bright yellows, heavy snow bands. Your winter weather radar just wants to show everything as snow, and it's not. So if you're down here in Brunswick or up to Savannah and you're in mixing, I don't know about Brunswick, but at least Savannah, these heavy snow bands, this is coming. This is going to be an inch an hour snow. New Jersey possible blizzard? Yeah, I mean, listen, we're only halfway through winter. We are only halfway through winter. Halfway. So, let's see. Maybe the weather app is accurate for once. 9 inches may actually happen. Maybe. Broken clock's right twice a day. Brittany, what's going on? I-10, I-12 interstate closed. Yep. That's what we talked about, Dan. Yeah, I-10. We knew that was going to be a mess. My cousin lives in Jacksonville, and she's a manager of a dog. It's like I forget what it's called. I think Pet Palace, or not Pet Palace, something with that. And she's like a regional manager, so she goes to all the stores. It's not Pet Palace. It's like a smaller one or a bigger one. I don't know, but one of their locations is in Tallahassee, and she's like, "You think I'll be able to go there tomorrow?" And I'm like, "You think you're driving? You think you're driving down I-10 right now from Jacksonville to Tallahassee with all that snow and ice? Absolutely not." Yeah, I mean, you don't. Yeah, I wouldn't pin comments just because I'm just gonna have to read them as quick as I can. But I appreciate that. Pam, thank you. Pam has entered the chat. Caroline, what's going on? Pam, I appreciate you. South Carolina is not getting anything close to Spartanburg. God, look at this big gap in the radar. This is really frustrating me. Again, guys, anywhere in this area, I mean, I hope you guys are all prepared now. It's too late if you're in the Panhandle. I would say though, it's really, you're in it. You're in it now. It's coming. Again, this little gap in the radar here, this isn't an area without snow. This radar is out. So, yeah, don't plan for any traveling tomorrow. Do not plan to go down the interstate here. I wouldn't plan on driving up 95. This is going to be a mess. I mean, unless you really, really have to. There's going to be accidents. There's going to be a lot of traffic. There's going to be cars stranded. You don't want to be traveling, at least in this. Sorry, let me get all writing off. You 100% don't want to be traveling in this region tomorrow. 100% don't want to be traveling and out here. This is going to be a mess, guys. Again, though, you know, we're going to see a lot more power outages. So make sure you check in on your family, you know, your family, your friends, your neighbors, your elderly, your animals, like Lake says, because it's guaranteed. It's guaranteed there's gonna be some serious issues, not only as this is moving through, but in the days to follow. Some people are like, it's all gonna melt right away. Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is a lot of this snow is going to stick around for a few days, maybe more in some areas. You know, none of your infrastructure down here is built for this. So Charlotte, North Carolina getting more, potentially a tiny bit more. Maybe I'd say the most you could probably get from here on is another 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch, but you're kind of getting lucky with the placement of snow showers, and you're going to need a little bit more of that luck. After an hour or two, this precipitation line up here, that's still feeding Charlotte a tiny bit of snow right now, on and off. This precipitation line, okay, this is not letting me do this. 1 second, guys. This precipitation line right here is going to shift east, and you're going to be, you know, this is all going to be coastal stuff. So again, why am I showing you this radar? If I were to show you the snow radar, it doesn't know where it's snowing, where it's mixing. I know the snow line is about, you know, here. Sorry, here. So some of the areas that are getting mixing in this region, it's going to turn to snow soon. But this radar, what it allows us to see is these bright yellows. Something's bugging with my computer right now, and I think it has to do with Windy. 1 second, guys. Yeah, this app is so buggy. 1 second, guys. Oh my Lord. Okay. These bright yellows and these bright greens. Yeah, if you're spamming or typing a million things, then I'm not going to answer your question. So the person who keeps spamming Odessa, Texas, I'm not talking about that. So, but again, these bright yellows and bright greens, these are your snow bands that are going to drop over 1 inch an hour. So that's why this is a really interesting radar to look at. All right, we'll get back down here and we'll look at the latest HRRR, and we'll do a rapid round of answering questions right here. That was Radar Omega is the one that's at the bottom. The last one I was looking at was Windy, which is very similar. Where the southernmost part, what's the southernmost? Where the southernmost part of Florida? What's the southernmost part of Florida see snow? Maybe we get a little bit of turnover into Jacksonville. I don't think so. I think your cutoff's going to be somewhere like this in Florida. You could see some mixing down here and even in northern Gainesville maybe, but it's not going to be. Your accumulation is going to be through here. We'll see. We'll see if Jacksonville, if it gets any snow, it's going to be on the back end. We're going to have this snow pulling in. Watch as it comes in on the back end and it dips to the south. You see this? This could give someone a surprise snow through here on the back end for sure. So, I mean, you know, farther south, maybe you get a little mixing a tiny snow in Gainesville. You know, what's up there? Vero Beach. I lived in Florida my whole life. Vero's lower down. North of, Palm Coast maybe. So here, I'll push this back here so you guys can see what's going on. RCB said, please, I'm sorry. You know what? Just because you apologize. Wait, but you're talking about Texas. Why are you asking about Texas? The snowstorm is gone from Texas. Nothing more is happening in Texas. I mean, there's no snow in Texas's future, at least for the next 2 weeks. And past then, we can't see. So, Texas is probably going to warm up a little bit here moving forward. When was the moment you realized doing this full time was possible? Well, I'm doing this 40 hours a week, but I also have another job, a 9 to 5. I work 40 hours a week. So I need this to grow a little bit more before I can do this full time. I'd probably be doing this 60 hours a week if I was just doing this. But I see the possibility of it now. I have some people helping me. I got a team setting up, and so I see the possibility of it now, which is really exciting. Jojo, K-Cross, Yali. I appreciate you guys. Baby Bamboo, thank you to anyone who's followed. Thank you to anyone who subbed. You guys are awesome. Getting closer to that 100K goal on TikTok. I appreciate you guys. I don't know. I think I'm close to 2K on YouTube, which is cool. Being a sub is really worth it. Connor is always fun on. I appreciate you, Pam. We're going to do another sub-only chat after this stream. Probably about an hour, maybe a little bit more. We'll do sub-only chat just for a little bit. I want to do it before, but some days when I work later and I get on stream later, I don't want to make everyone wait. So on the weekend, I'll usually stream twice, and I'll do sub-only chats before my actual stream. Local news has like a foot of snow coming in February to Park City, Utah. Is that true? Yeah, February looks, at least the front half of February looks a lot better for the Rockies, especially your Utah, Colorado, and then up into your northern Arizona and New Mexico. It does. The outlook just looks better for you guys to get a lot. It looks like we're going to see some serious troughing returning to the West Coast, meaning maybe even snow and some precipitation down in Southern California. We are driving from Iowa to Florida, leaving Thursday morning. Will roads be good by then? Yeah, I mean, by then, everything should be, there's probably still going to be some snow and ice around the areas around here, but your roads by then should be cleared and salted, and the driving conditions should be fine by then. I say should be, just because most of these states, like you have state of emergencies declared in a lot of these states, and they're bringing in snow plows and salt trucks from all over. So you'd think 24 to 48 hours, they're going to try to clear up these highways the best they can, get things operating again. Any snow headed to Illinois? Potentially. Yep. I'll show you guys really quickly what's going on up here. So here, let me show you what we got going on. What's our CPC outlook? Here is, as we push into February, here's our last 5 days of January. Cold air returning out here to the west, including Southern California. Some average temperatures returning, a little bit of warmth up here, but watch as we move out. We see pretty much, this is what we call a zonal flow. Average, slightly above average to slightly below average temperatures across the entire country. Our precipitation as we get into February, I think, so this is through the 4th. I think as we move into the 5th, the 4th and the 5th, you're going to see a lot more moisture out here in the west, which the CPC isn't showing that right now. The CPC also likes in February, guys, I'm telling you right now, above average moisture here in February, and I agree. The CPC likes above average moisture through here, and remember, some of this is going to be snow. It's February, for the month of February. Why? With the positive EPO setup, okay, with the negative PNA, we're going to have a jet stream potentially setting up like this. Storms will ride this jet stream. Your storms will ride the jet stream. This will be colder air. This will be hotter air, potentially, for a couple weeks in February. This is kind of the outlook that makes sense based on our teleconnections. What we've had through most of December, January is a jet stream kind of something like this, where we've had cold air and winter weather kind of just passing through the east like this, and we've been much drier and hotter out here. We expect this to flip. And you could see a lot more storms into this region here, especially, they think, into your Midwest. So, and you'll have the opportunity for a lot with the colder air and the active storm track along this jet stream. You'll have more opportunity down here as well. It's going to be a different. It should be a different look than we saw in January, at least through the first half of February. You can come yell at me if it's not. It's fine. I got January right. Yali and Jin, I appreciate you guys. Yeah, some sometimes you can get in trouble for showing certain cameras on a live stream if you don't have. So I'm a little bit hesitant sometimes. I feel like a meteorology student watching. Simply, I love that. You know, Radar Omega has some good. I'll show you super quickly. Has some good images. You can see the snow on the ground in Charlotte. You can actually see. You guys see this snow on the ground in Charlotte here? You probably can't see it very good on TikTok. It's on the bottom screen. There you go. I'll show you super quick. Oh, it's not going to let me expand. That's okay. That's okay. I don't want to get in trouble anyways. What do we got here? Just to the southwest of Augusta. Ooh, look at that snow, guys. Bottom screen, quickly. Look at that. That is heavy, 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 heavy snow. Nice. Love to see it. That is just, yeah, that's a heavy band moving through Augusta, Georgia right now. Oh my gosh. Yep, and then this is a decent amount of snow on the ground right there, just to the north and east of, I think it's Macon, Georgia. Tennessee snow, we'll see. You know, Tennessee, you could get some snow moving back. It's depending on how our jet stream sets up in February. And if it holds, you could see some moving through the Tennessee Valley as well. So out to the west. What are the chances of a lot of moisture in the northeast in February? Below, I think it's going to be below average. Although the end of February may make up for it. I'd expect, I mean, maybe if you're talking about like inland New England, but like coast, like out here and along the coast, you know, it's being projected, and I think correctly, we're going to see a below average snowfall in the month of at least the start of February, the first 2 to 3 weeks. And then the end of February and into March looks like it could be interesting for us. So we'll have to see. But that, guys, this isn't written in stone. This is not written in stone. Outlooks are tough. Outlooks are really, really tough. That's just with the latest data that we have. It's not written in stone. Michelle, I appreciate you. Thank you. Can a heavy band move through Midland, South Carolina? You know, we've got here's where our weather is right now, and you can't. This radar is down. There is a decent band that looks like it wants to move through Columbia, South Carolina. We'll see if this holds or if it pushes. I think we may start to see this compress a little bit down to the east, but this would be not a super heavy band, but a somewhat significant band of snow moving through this region of South Carolina. So maybe just to the south and east of Winsboro and Newberry. So man, those brighter yellows and oranges and greens, the really, really light stuff here, guys, this is your, not really that as much, but yeah, this is your much heavier, especially this down here. This is your much heavier precipitation that we're seeing in these bands. Can you see how, guys, how someone here could get 8 inches and someone here could get 3? Because as I say in all my streams, snow doesn't move in a perfect blanket. It's just like a thunderstorm where you have some areas of a thunderstorm with a bunch of lightning, stronger winds. You have banding, and some cities set up in between these bands and underperform. You know, so it's not perfectly uniform. That's just not how these systems work. This is a really good radar to see that on. Raleigh predictions, yeah, you know, is it not snowing in Raleigh right now? I would think you'd have okay snowfall in Raleigh right now. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think on the high end you could end up with 3 inches in Raleigh, but I need to know what the conditions are right now. We can look at, let me move up here to the north. Let me move up here. I mean, this looks like some significant snow is falling, at least in Raleigh or just to the east of Raleigh. This is a significant snow band. Is it not? It very much is. Okay, yeah, because I'm looking at this and I'm saying, this is your surface radar. This looks like a heavy band of snow through Raleigh. So maybe you outperform that 3 inches. This banding right here was not projected. Again, this is a surprise band right here. This right here, I think we originally thought would set up a little bit farther to the east. So that's going to, you'd expect Raleigh to overperform. It's probably already overperformed, and that's going to continue for a little bit. Pam, Vanessa. Is this moisture moving up the coast or straight out? This is moving up the coast and out. It's moving out while it's moving up too. So it's basically moving up the coast like this, but your trough is behind here pushing on it. So it's moving, you're seeing the moisture move out, but the actual line itself is moving to the north. So this is moving, is going to begin to move in, is going to begin to compress in. And you can see it happening right now. Yeah, Jacksonville, guys, my cousin lives in Jacksonville. The back end, I think the HRRR is handling this somewhat correctly. We could get surprise snow accumulation on the back end of this thing. Look at this. And I think the Euro sees it too. We could see, watch the back end. The Euro just wants ice on the back end. Our HRRR, which has been all right. Watch what it wants to happen on the back end. A little bit of this snow and sleet starts to push in. It wants to maybe give you an hour of snow in Jacksonville at the back end, but it would be a heavy band of snow. So you could get an inch or two in an hour if you see these types of snow totals. So it's going to be close. I don't even want to predict it. I mean, you're right here. You're right in the middle of the mixing and the ice and the everything. I mean, you could have thunder snow there. Will Charlotte get any more? Yeah, I keep getting asked that question. It could. It's just going to be a random shower. You're not going to see any significant banding up in Charlotte anymore. It's moving too far out to the east. But your temperatures are so cold that any precipitation that falls is going to immediately stick. It's very light snow. It's a very good snow ratio. So we can see on the radar. And this is really annoying that the South Carolina radar is down. But we can see on the radar here, guys, for Charlotte, for you guys in Charlotte to keep asking, there's kind of banding moving up here through Greenwood. We could potentially get a tiny bit more into Charlotte. Potentially. This is not part of our main system is here, and then you have this significant banding up here. You've got a good band through here. So you could get a little more in Charlotte. You need a little bit of luck on your side with that, but there is some convection, some steeper convection moving towards your area. St. Augustine. I went on a trip there I went on a field trip there when I was in school, South Florida. I wouldn't expect St. Augustine to get anything. Again, the HRRR, and I'm on the bottom radar right now if you can't see. The HRRR gives, I would say, as far down to like Palm Coast, a chance to get a tiny bit of mixing sleet into the area. I would say if we're going to see anything south into Florida, I expect maybe some surprise accumulations into Jacksonville. But I'm rooting for you guys down there in St. Augustine. There's been some runs of the model of the HRRR that thinks that the back end of the system is really going to dip down there. So we'll see. Yeah, Pam has been here since the beginning. Pam's a day oneer. Yeah, that's so weird. Pam, I heard that people were having an issue with that. I think that's going to be I think let me hide that person. I think they're working on that fix. There's some other issues with TikTok as well. I've heard that from a lot of people, and that's frustrating because when my subs show, I always try because I can see my subs in my chat as like bright yellow, so it allows me to see when you ask a question better, and now it's like not allowing anyone to renew a sub, and it's there's a lot of kinks they're obviously working out still at TikTok. It's frustrating. Can it come back south to South Mississippi? It's not gonna come back. No. Yeah. I appreciate you, Pam. How long will the snow take to melt in Charleston, South Carolina? We can look at what our, how what our temperatures are going to look like moving forward. Let's just look at our temperatures as we move forward here. Okay, so we're gonna push into Wednesday. You're gonna get maybe a tiny bit of melt with that snow on Wednesday. You don't even need to be above freezing, even at freezing with the sun, because you're gonna see sunny skies behind this. You'll get a little bit of melt. Still pretty cold. I think probably most of your melt comes on Thursday. A lot of you will probably still have snow on the ground on Friday. If you guys still have snow on the ground by Saturday, I think I'd be surprised. Although the areas that overperform and get 8-9 inches will. But, if you're getting up to 5, these temperatures start to get really, really warm during the day on Thursday. I'm really on Friday. I guess it's not too bad in a lot of these areas. Mid 40s. Some of you may still have snow on the ground over the weekend. That's going to be interesting. And then boom, big heat up as we push into Saturday, Sunday. It's not going to melt in 24 hours. It's not going to melt in 48 hours. I can tell you that. Some people think it's like, I saw some people commenting online. They're like, your snow is going to melt the next day. People who are just salty they didn't get snow, but it's not going to melt the next day. It's not going to melt the next 2 days. Most of these places. It's coming down good here in Southeast Virginia. How many inches total? Oh, yeah, you guys are getting a little bit from that too. You guys aren't projected to get much, but your snow is going to start to actually wind down here in the next few hours. We can take a look at our National Weather Service, what they think. Down here in southeastern Virginia, they think, the possibility from Hampton down to Suffolk and then out towards the coast, Virginia Beach, anywhere from 1 all the way up to 4 inches of snow the closer you get to the coast. That'd be a good time. Let's see here. Smash the like. Yeah, I appreciate that, Dan. Let's see here. Do you think the snow is going to stick in Jacksonville, Florida? If the trough dips far enough, it'll stick. The way if the HRRR is correct, it would stick. We have to see, what does our NAM think? What's our short range NAM think? I want to look at that for you as well. Our short range NAM agrees with the Euro and just wants ice and sleet into Jacksonville. So it's going to be a close call. I think if you see snow though, it'll stick. Give me a second, guys. Let me get back into here. So you can see your active bands right now. What are we into? 10, 14. Here we go. This is what's going on here. Those bright yellows, bright greens, those are the heaviest bands of snow right there, guys. Those yellows are over an inch an hour of snow if you're far enough north and you're not seeing the mixing. What's wrong with the radar in South Carolina? Well, this weather knocked it out. So there's not a gap in moisture here. It's just the radar's down. It's definitely sticking in northeastern. Piedmont. Yep. Northeastern North Carolina, Piedmont. Yep. Do you know why upstate South Carolina got flurries before the storm came? There were some bands out ahead of the storm. There was some weather pushed out ahead of this, of all this convection. You can see it up here in Raleigh. I mean, your main snow is through here, and you have some snow out ahead of it. So the snow that pushed north, the snow that you've been getting up north is actually ahead of the system. Really, the main system. I started following you a while back. We love your feedback on LA snowfall. It was record breaking. It was. What my projection was through here was, I think I ended up going with 5 to 6 with a high end of 9 inches. Now we did see 5 to 6 because there were areas in here 5 to 6, but we saw areas get up to a foot, which is good. I mean, like I always say, I'm glad if you overperform. So there were some bands in there that I saw when I was at work today, and I saw blizzard warnings getting dropped down there. I said, "Oh my gosh!" Yeah, there were some areas down here that got at least a foot. I mean, I would say I'm shocked, but if you've been watching my videos or been in my live streams for the past month, I've been talking about the possibility of this. Like I said, I posted a video in December talking about how I'd expect record-breaking snow just based on how warm our waters were this year and how warm we weren't a zero point 0.1 Fahrenheit degree above or zero point 0.2 Fahrenheit degree above average globally, but a little bit of extra heat puts so much more moisture into the air. And I knew if we saw, and I saw the setup for January, and I knew we'd have below freezing air touching the Gulf multiple times. So this is still blowing away, not blowing away my expectations, but above my expectations. No one ever expected a foot of snow into Louisiana or into some of these areas that almost got it too. You got 11 inches out here in Mobile. That is wacky. But again, we had a lot of extra moisture in the atmosphere moving into this winter. I talked about that as well, actually, in like October when I did my winter forecast or my winter outlook. I said, we're going to have so much more heat moving off the Gulf and in Atlantic this winter that something could happen down here. Big record-breaking snow could happen. I said all it takes is one. So, but yeah, I still wouldn't have even expected that. It's been a warm winter in Alaska. Yeah, I've noticed. It's been a warm winter for most of the West. We've had a positive PNA, which affects Alaska as well. Positive Pacific. It's ridging out west. Ryan said, "No, you didn't, bro." We got 6 inches in Southeast Texas, which is insane. Really? Where'd you get 6 inches down there? I saw some areas did pretty good. Yeah, down here. Yep, 6 into just to the east of Houston. I got Houston right. I said 2 to 3, although we did see parts of southern Houston get 4, 4.5. Out to the east get 6. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Some of the areas down just to the southeast of San Antonio saw an inch of snow too. That was a little bit farther out south and west than I thought you'd get it as well. Can you talk about Iowa? Barely any snow at all in central Iowa. Yep. We just have not been. We have not had a jet stream that's going to put snow into Iowa. I've been talking about that in my lives lately. Again, moving into February, our climate prediction center thinks this is going to be specifically this area is going to be your target for a lot of moisture in February. Why? Because we're not going to have a jet stream anymore. Our jet stream for most of January has been like this. We've had troughing in the west. We've had ridging in the east, or troughing in the east, ridging in the west. We're likely going to have a jet stream. Want to set up more like this, and you have storms that ride the jet stream like this. And this is cold air to the north, and this is warmer air to the south. So I was not in a bad spot for February. We've been talking about that for a couple weeks now. Listen, you're going to have winters where, you don't get a lot of snow. I mean, 2022, Minnesota and around the Minneapolis area saw like 100 inches of snow. And then like the next year, like 40? You go up and down, and they've gotten like none this year. You're not, when you see like what's your average snowfall in a location, that doesn't mean you're supposed to get that much snow that each year. That means you're going to get a lot more, a lot under, or maybe close to it. So typically, if you're seeing a lot of snow in one area of the country and you're not in that area, if all the snow's falling in the southeast, it's not going to be falling in the northern plains or southwest at the same time, because you're not going to have troughing in the east, in the west, and in the north at the same time. And if you have a zonal flow, which would bring cold air across the whole country, you're not going to have a storm system, because you can't get winter storms with a zonal flow, which would be cold air for everyone. So this is just how it works. I don't know if that explains anything. Tallahassee, Florida. Yeah, look at this banding you guys have going through you right now. Crazy. I wish I had a cam in Tallahassee, Florida right now, guys. You guys are getting dumped on in Tallahassee, Florida. I don't even want you. By the look at this, I don't even. You guys could seriously overperform in Tallahassee, Florida. Although this still looks like maybe some mixing. Is anyone in Tallahassee, Florida? I think that's snow. No snow here in South Carolina, just sleet. Any snow coming our way down here in Bluffton? Where's Bluffton? Oh yeah, that'll transition in. That'll transition into snow very shortly. Don't worry about it. That will transition into snow, and you are going to have snow rates of 1 inch an hour. So don't worry about that at all in Bluffton. It'll transition. It's what happened, guys. This last snowstorm, I live north of Philly. We had literally sleet and grapple for 5 hours, and everyone was like, "We're not going to see any snow." Then we saw snow for 4 hours, and we ended up with like 4 inches. So the same thing's going to happen here. You have cold air that's going to be driving in on the back end. So for you guys in Bluffton, yeah, your snow cut, your kind of snow cutoffs like this. This is all pure snow. This is moving east. You're gonna turn in. You're gonna transition here. So if you haven't seen any, don't worry about it in that area of South Carolina. Yeah, same with Savannah. You're gonna if you're seeing mixing right now, best believe that mixing is gonna go away soon. Nora and Pam, I appreciate you guys. Liz, thank you guys. Thank you for anyone who subbed, followed. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys being in here with me. Pouring snow in West Virginia. They weren't calling for us to get more snowfall tonight. You've got, I mean, I see some small convection up there in the mountains. Let me see what's going on here. You're getting heavy snow in West Virginia. One second. Give me a second here. Let's go into interesting. Not seeing any at all. That's news to me. Although if you're up in the mountains going to have their own type of weather. Can upstate South Carolina get more flurries? More flurries are definitely possible. There's some snow. There's some more banding moving into upstates as we speak. So some light banding. How long will it snow in Columbia, South Carolina? You probably got a few hours because that's going to be moving out east quickly. There are people ice skating on the roads in Atlanta. It's bad. Ice skating? Interesting. We had no ice, thank Lord. Yeah, you don't want ice. Is Greensboro, North Carolina done? Potentially. Potentially, there's going to be some snow showers drifting through the area. What's going on, Julie? But I wouldn't expect anything major to happen in Greensboro anymore. How much longer can we expect snow in Fayetteville, North Carolina? I think you guys could potentially see snow for another 5 hours at least. Maybe more, honestly. 7? You guys are far enough east, you could see it through the morning time. You're going to have some of this stuff moving up through your area here as well. So I think your potential for snow is going to last a little bit longer. It's going to be the inch an hour stuff though. Half an inch an hour stuff is going to be out here on the coast. East coast of North Carolina here. Yep. You know, there's significant. There's some significant snow banding happening just to the south of Beaufort, Wilmington, off the coast. This might run up the coast, and dump a lot of snow into these barrier islands. This is heavy. This is heavy precipitation right here. So, I mean, that's why even the National Weather Service has 6 inches out here, but we might even outperform that. Arena, I appreciate you. Tech, thank you so much. Appreciate your channel subscribing. Thank you so much. Too much dry air in upstate South Carolina. Yeah. That's why on Radar Omega you can see, well, you can't because the radar's down, but it shows a bunch of snow. But it's not. That's why I'm showing you. That's why sometimes like the radar I'm showing you right now can be a little bit better, because whereas some radars would show all of this as snow right here, this is actually not falling. This is not reaching the ground. Your brighter bands are reaching the ground. Weather Up says heavy snow in Sumter, South Carolina, 11 to 12. Do you see this happening? Oh, 11 to 12? Where's Sumter? One second. Heavy? I don't know about heavy, but you can see this right here that's moving north. So I don't think you're going to be in an inch an hour of snow. Maybe a half an inch an hour. That's somewhat decent. That's somewhat good. I guess you'd call that heavy snowfall. So it's tough. You know, the radar's out here. The radar is literally knocked out here. This is just, and it's messing with this as well. It's messing with this banding as well. So, but I would expect, like I said, I mean, really pushing through Columbia and then down to the south, we're going to see a lot more snow in South Carolina. That radar being out is really messing with this. Like I said, it's not just affecting what's close. It's affecting how we're seeing this as well through here. Ocean City, Maryland is getting snow. The beach has a covering. Ocean City, Maryland. Nice. Up here. Yep, you can see some of this. Some of this brighter banding up through here. But again, this is going to flatten. You're not going to see this move like inland. This is going to stay and move up and out, off into the water over the next few hours. Although some of that might stick a little bit longer. You know, who knows? You could see some of this snow want to creep all the way up into Long Island, but it's not going to be big totals or anything like that. How much is expected for Wilmington, North Carolina? I think expected we'd say 4 to 5, but again, there's a lot of there's been a lot of over performances today, and I think Wilmington's another area that could see an overperformance. Jacksonville, Florida, TikToker. Yep. You know, most models don't want to bring any snow into Jacksonville. They want ice and mixing as this storm moves out. The HRRR is a pretty decent model, especially once you're within 6 hours. You'd expect it to be because it's your very, very short range model. So it likes a tiny bit of snow on the back end. It likes the cold air to push in with an hour or two to go of precipitation, and it wants to dump an inch into Jacksonville. I'd have to weigh on the side of saying it's not going to snow in Jacksonville. The only reason I'm a little bit hesitant to say that is because we've seen so many overperformances everywhere, and we've seen heavier snow even farther to the south than expected. So there's a chance for it. But I'd say it's probably going to stay a little farther north. West Palm Beach, listen, you're going to be cold, but you're not going to be getting any snow from this. Temperatures are getting cold tonight. Any more snow coming to the Pensacola area? It's moving out. It's moving out. You've got a little bit of a somewhat okay banding just to your east, but that should be it. Sometimes you get some stuff moving off the ocean on the back end, so it's not impossible, but your snow should be done. For the most part, should be done. I don't see any more heavy snow in your future. Jacksonville, North Carolina. I didn't know there was a Jacksonville, North Carolina. Ooh. Just like I said for Wilmington, NWS likes 4 to 5, but again, with these over performances that we've been seeing up and down the coast, who knows? Someone up here in North Carolina could push 7 or 8. I'm not even kidding. Seriously. Just wondering if it's done here in Lancaster, South Carolina. Man. Look how it shows me where these are. This can't even... I can't even find Lancaster, South Carolina. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I mean you could see more snow, but it's not. I wouldn't expect any more than like a tenth of a quarter of accumulation at most. But this band that wants to move through Colombia could clip you guys especially if you're in the south and eastern. So, but I think this is going to move to the south view, and this stuff is moving out east. But seriously, what can I use to sled on? I have a wooden boogie board. Ooh, I wouldn't sled on. You're gonna get splinters, dude. We're getting hammered in Middle Georgia. Where you at? Let's see here. We've got a cam just to the northeast of Macon. Snow there, but nothing falling anymore. Obviously nothing up here really near Atlanta. Looks like most of this is in southeastern to southern Georgia. Let's see. Let me get back down to the bottom chat here. You nailed the overperformance late last night. Ended up with 8+ here in Mobile. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm glad. Yeah, I saw there were portions of Mobile. I saw we were looking at snow totals. Check this out. There was a big overperformance somewhere near Mobile. We had, at 8.5. I thought we had an even bigger one here. Let me see. 8.8 in Milton, Florida. Oh my gosh. Yeah, up to 8.5 around Mobile. Insane. Look at Raleigh, already over an inch, probably pushing 2 inches. Charlotte, about a half. I'm in Warner Robins, and it just stopped snowing, but we got about 4 or so. Love to hear it. Any more for Charlotte? Not. You could get some more flakes. I wouldn't. The max you're probably gonna get is, if you got lucky, you could get a half inch. But I think you're probably done for the night. You can see we still have snow falling above Charlotte. Most of it's not reaching the floor. And some of this banding that's a little more significant to the south, we really can't see the banding because this radar's down. But it looks like that's gonna move to the south, probably cross through Fayetteville over towards Raleigh, Durham. Appreciate the follows and the subs, guys. Thank you. I'm seeing them. No problem. My weather app says 9 inches for Myrtle Beach, and it already snowed 2 inches. Is that accurate? I think it's 11 inches for Myrtle Beach. Man, who am I to say that's not accurate at this point? We've seen so many over performances. I would expect. I would say I would expect less, but this right here is moving to the north. Oh, you guys can't see that. Let me move over. This right here is probably over. This right here might be even pushing 2 inches an hour of snow is moving to the north. Portions of this at least. And God, I don't think you're getting 11. Maybe you do end up pushing 7. Maybe you do end up pushing 8, 9 inches. That's crazy that your weather app's saying that. Again, with all the over performances we've had, with how this, especially this band right here, this main pocket of moisture looks here, this is going to, depending, this could line up off the coast though. If this lines up right along the coast, you're going to see significant over performances all through these areas, like potentially 6+ inches over what's being projected. If that doesn't set up off the coast. I keep wondering if the pole shifting over 300 miles to the west might be changing the weather patterns. What do you mean by that? Doesn't surprise me. The radar is down where I am. That's the Columbia area for you. Yeah. Here in upper eastern North Carolina, we already got 2 inches, 2.5. Yeah, you can see. Raleigh's already reporting over 1.5 inches, but that's what they're reporting. The reports always come in 30 minutes to an hour late. So I know that they have more than that, and I know you have more than that out east of Raleigh. So I'm not surprised. JEJ and Nora. I appreciate you guys. Will Jax get snow? That's been the one that people keep asking about, and it's really up in the air. 9 out of 10 models don't want to put any snow into Jacksonville, but our what you consider our best short range, especially in this 6 hour period, would be your HRRR, and the HRRR gives a chance for an inch or two of accumulation into Jacksonville on the back end as the system moves out. So it's not impossible is what I'm saying. Yeah, Savannah, Georgia, if you're in mixing right now, that's going to be accumulating snow very quickly. Don't worry about it. Trust me, and it's going to accumulate quick. Do you think Oklahoma will get any snow this February? Potentially, the way the jet stream wants to set up. Potentially northern Texas and I would say central to western Oklahoma. Here in upper eastern North Carolina. Oh, I already read that. I got to get back down to the bottom of my chat. Oh, no, you're Dawan. I answered you. It's straight ice in Charleston, South Carolina. Yeah, that'll switch over. Don't worry. I'm not worried at all for you guys. Greenville, South Carolina. I know everyone's nervous on the coast of South Carolina and Georgia, northern coastal Georgia, but that'll switch over. Greenville, South Carolina. Oh, we do have some cams on here, actually. Why wasn't I using these? We can see what's going on here. You ready, guys? Do we have... 3 hours ago, 34 minutes ago. Can you guys see that? Hold up here. This is South Carolina. This is Myrtle Beach. This is near Myrtle Beach right here. Let's see what we got going on up here. Let's zoom in. We got some barrier islands up here in North Carolina. Look at that snow out in coastal North Carolina right now. What do we got going on? Let me take a look at some of these places here. Do we have Tallahassee, Florida? Oh, we have I-10. Oh, yeah, heavy snow, but it's a lot of this just got too dark. Pensacola. Here we go, Pensacola, I-10. Look at this, guys. Pensacola, Florida. Interesting. I'm sorry, get back to your questions. I just want to look at a few of these. I want to see what's happening in this snow band right here. Right south of southwest of Homerville, Georgia. We've got snow on the ground. It looks like some mixing down there, though. Okay. We'll see how this progresses. This is up in Raleigh. Oh my God, you can't see anything on this. 1 second, guys. Okay. All right. Some of these cams are hard. It's nighttime on a lot of these cams. You really can't see much. Let me close out of here. I wanted to see if I could give you a better picture. This is windy. I'm going to Miami on Valentine's Day. Will it still be cold? No, I would say Valentine's Day, mid-February. It's probably going to be pretty warm down there. They have more snow in the south than we have had all winter. Yeah. Well, you know what? They never have snow in the south. So good for them. Just been very cold here. Negative 48 wind chill. Yep. Sometimes when you're too cold for too long, you don't have any mechanism for lift or to put convection in the air to get snow. You get kind of a cold core high settling over your head, and you don't have any systems. You also need a little bit of help from the jet stream, and the jet stream has been liking the south. So, how's it looking in Clinton, North Carolina for more snow? I need to, all these little areas, I need to remember where they are eventually. Okay, here's what I'm going to do, because every time I'm looking up like a small city, like I've said before, it just takes forever. So I'm just going to go through what I expect moving forward here, and then I'm just going to answer as many questions as I can moving forward. But if you're going to talk about like a super, super small area and not the region, it's going to be hard for me because I don't want to keep stopping. Be Free Wild, what's going on? I appreciate you. I would expect in Clinton your snow to be done. You could have flurries through the air. All right, let's do this. Let me chug the rest of my Red Bull, and let's just let me tell you what's going to happen moving forward. Let me tell you what's going to happen moving forward through the end of this snowstorm. What we're expecting in the end of January and February as well. That was delicious. All right. For anyone who's new in here before I do this, if you don't know who I am, my name's Connor, if you couldn't tell by the name of my page. I post weather updates, outlooks, different information, different educational videos on weather or phenomenons or whatever that's coming up. I'm a weather page. I like weather. I go live every single night. And I post forecast outlooks every single day. Let's say that. So if you want to follow or sub, I'll love you forever. But if you don't, it's okay. I'll still love you. All right, let's get into this. This is an extremely heavy banding of snow right here. Where you see these oranges, I don't even want to hesitate to say this. This is like pushing an inch or two of snow an hour. But some of these areas aren't. Your snow ratio isn't fantastic. So if this moves up north, stays inland, and we get that colder air with it, you're going to see crazy potentially over performances up through here. People on the coast, you get aggravated with small towns, but we greatly appreciate you, Dewan. I don't get aggravated with that small towns questions. I just sometimes when I answer like 50 of them in a row, I start to realize I'm ignoring my chat. But no, I love small towns. So, but I always tell people, if you're around a major city, if you're within like 20 miles of a major city, just say northeast, whatever, or southwest, whatever. Okay. Yeah. If this stays inland, we're going to have cold air pushing in behind this. You could see, what are we projecting right now as we move up the coast here? Really anywhere from 5 to 6 through here is kind of the projection. And then anywhere from 1 to 3 through here is still possible. Through this corridor is still possible. But if we get this banding to stick through and this cold air pushes back in, it's not crazy to think you could see, 7 to 10 through here if this banding stays onshore. We've seen overperformances in a lot of areas already. We have snow out ahead of the system, which we kind of expected, but it's a little heavier than it was supposed to be out ahead of the system. So Pensacola, up through basically probably Montgomery, Alabama, to the southeast of Atlanta. Your snow's moving out. You're probably done. This is our main moisture now, right here through this corridor. Anyone outside of this, if you see any more snow, you could see a little bit more snow, but it's going to be some snow showers. You're not going to be really in this snowstorm. A lot of people are asking about Jacksonville. Yes, you could. The HRRR does want some of the snow to tuck in on the back end. And if we're super lucky, we'll get an inch or two into Jacksonville. But we need a little bit of luck on our side because it's really looking like ice and mixing. And that's kind of the model consensus. We are already getting snow that is pushing up here through southeastern Virginia and through southeastern Maryland and through southeastern Delaware. And who knows? Atlantic City might see a little snowfall too. This isn't going to last too long. It potentially will through Virginia Beach, but this is going to start moving offshore as well. So get the accumulation while you can. I think the National Weather Service does really like southeastern Virginia to potentially get up to 4 inches of snow. But again, who knows? We might see. And you can see, they have up totals out here in the Barrier Islands, North Carolina, all the way up to coastal North Carolina all the way up to 7 inches in some areas. Again, I think that's possible from Savannah all the way up through Wilmington, all the way up through Jacksonville, North Carolina as well. I think we could, depending on if that band stays in here, could see totals pushing 6 to 8 to 9. We could see those really start to elevate. So that's what's going on with that. Let me show you what we have moving forward super quickly, guys. Let me just show you what we have moving forward. We have the latest GFS model coming out, which is interesting. What I'll do is I'll show you the last one. 1 second. Okay. What I'll do is I'll show you the last one really quickly here. Here is, and I want to show you this too. We don't really want February to... Okay. Well, I could probably show you in here. I want to show you the Climate Prediction Center's outlook for February. Let's bring this back up. Here we go. Right here. Right here. This is the Climate Prediction Center's outlook. I can't disagree with it too much. With precipitation, I know people in Minnesota and Iowa keep getting annoyed. I know a lot of you up here have underperformed. Well, again, why do they see this? It looks like we may have a jet stream setting up a little bit more like this. This is more of a positive EPO look, a negative PNA, where you get storms riding this. Now, it still thinks below average down here in the southwest, although I think to start off February, we might be slightly above average. We might get a little bit more moisture to start off February down there. But as we progress, these storms are going to start to develop around this zone right here. If we get this type of jet stream look, which is really what most of our teleconnections and outlooks are calling for. You can also notice they want above average precipitation in the Pacific Northwest, which makes sense if we see more troughing out here. As we push into cold air, what do we expect for February? Let me go back here. Here you go. Cold air. I mean, you guys have been cold up here, but northern plains into portions of the Midwest and the Pacific Northwest, and we're expecting a warm up out east. Now, this area specifically, we have seen below average temperatures most of this region in December and January. We are expecting a slight warm up. I think this might flip back at the end of February, going into March. I think we might actually cool up a little bit out there. But again, with above average precipitation being forecast from the Climate Prediction Center through this area and slightly below to average temperatures, which is February temperatures, which is cold, you can see why your snow chances through this region are probably elevated. I think this is going to include more portions of the northern plains as well, though. All right. And then if you're really interested, this is their 3-month outlook. Again, I think we're going to cool back down again out here. This is an impossible outlook to do. We really can't look out 3 months. So I wouldn't bother too much with that. This is our last GFS. Our latest GFS is loading. We still see the possibility for, the Euro kind of is watching this as well for another snow system before we end off January that wants to potentially start to form in the Ohio Valley and move its way up through the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. We're watching that. We are expecting over this weekend a lot of snow, a lot of precipitation to move back into the Southern Rockies, potentially into northeastern Arizona, into New Mexico, and then northern Texas as well. So, and we'll see. This is far out. I don't want to overhype this, but this is still an area where the Euro and the GFS agree. We can go and look at our Euro really quickly, 12Z. The Euro isn't as bullish on this snow system, but you can see the moisture. You can see our 540 isobar line here. This would tell me that there is the possibility for snow along this boundary again. So, but we're getting closer and closer to forecasting range, so we'll have to see if the Euro likes that. But that's a lot of moisture and that's a lot of cold air colliding still. So we're watching the end of this weekend into the beginning of next week for another potential snowstorm there. And then you can see the Euro also likes this trough to dive down here, just like the GFS does. This would be extremely cold air again for the east with the potential for some snow back out here. So that's what's going on. Again, as we push forward in time, we are expecting, you can see at the end of this Euro run, take this with a grain of salt, but this would be a jet stream. As you can see, that would really set up for some big, big snow through here. So I know people out here are waiting. This would be your opportunity. And this is like, we never look out 350 or 372 hours, whatever, and say, oh, we're going to look at this future radar. But this matches up with what our teleconnections are telling us. This matches up with, in general, what our outlook is. So it's not shocking to see the Euro want to move our jet stream into a, kind of positive EPO look. So that's what we're watching. All right, let's get back to our snowstorm. Look at this. Look at this. This is some decent snowfall through here. I'd expect actually Jacksonville, North Carolina is probably getting some good snow right now. Look at this right off the coast down here. Oh my gosh. I think Savannah is about to switch over to snow very closely, and it's going to be heavy. That's what I think. I think it's going to be heavy very, very shortly. Very, very shortly. Look at this. Look at this that's coming for you. Look at this. Three P's. Plants, pets, people. Thank you, Lake. Shout out to the mods. A gallon of water per person per day. That is always good. Pipes are going to burst. Pipes are going to freeze. If you're out ahead of this system and you still have some time, of course, but if this stuff is already moving in, do not go out on an icy road. Confused. Miss, and I'm going to try it again. Morichonis. Mrs., I appreciate you. Nora, Pam, thank you. Nora, I appreciate you. Charlotte, any more left to come? Some sporadic snow showers could fall. I wouldn't expect anything more than a quarter to a half inch max, but you may just get a dusting left. How's Mammoth Cali looking? Well, you're going to have potentially some good, the Euro likes a decent snow falling through Mammoth as we push into Saturday into Sunday. So after that, you're drying out again. But again, moving into February, we're going to have more troughing out in the west, which is going to be good for Mammoth. Yeah, an alternative heat source as well if you're out ahead of this thing. But again, and we've been talking about this over the last few days. I hope you guys, I hope anyone who's out ahead of this prepped. Again, if your power's still on in areas like this, it could very well go off through the night. This is not, we don't have infrastructure down here for winter storms, this significant. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Make sure your phone is charged fully right now if you're out here. That's what I would say as well, just because you could be without a charging source for a while, and if you get into any trouble, you want to have a fully charged phone. JDJ, I appreciate you. Kansas going to see anything more? It was colder here than it was in Alaska today. Yeah, Alaska's been in a ridge, so that's not surprising. Yeah, I mean, when Kansas pushing into February is not in a bad spot to get some winter weather. Fortune and faith, I appreciate you. Do you think Southern Maryland will get any more snow? Like southeastern, yeah, this is gonna be pushing through for another couple hours. Near the coast, 20 miles east of Raleigh. Has a chance to accumulate more? Yes, you do have a chance for a little bit more accumulation. What do you see for Buffalo? Kids got another snow day tomorrow. They're getting I would love to be a kid growing up where you live, Julie. They must get so many snow days. Look at this band. Julie, it's snowing there right now, isn't it? Might be just to your south, actually. That might be just to your south. It's a good looking band. Still plowing over. Our HRRR still likes. Let's see what our HRRR still likes up there. We have fluffy snow in Raleigh. Yep. That's what I was talking about yesterday. You're going to get, remember I told you, farther you go to the north, you're going to get that really good snow ratio, that really nice fluffy stuff. When it's cold from the floor to the ceiling, lower, mid, upper levels of the atmosphere, when it's below freezing, you get very you get snow that is less dense and is very, very powdery, very fluffy. It's awesome. Looks like that lake effect's going to be slowing down here. Looks like that lake effect's going to be snowing down here. Not much more is projected for Buffalo. Yeah, not much more is projected for Buffalo. Even up here on let's refresh this. This was as I think this was 03 Z Wednesday. So this is out ahead. I mean, let me see something really quick here, guys. 1 second. Get into our 02. I guess 3 to 4 inches. The HRRR still likes 3 to 4 inches through here. The weather, our National Weather Service right here thinks 9 inches, but this is delayed. This band is going to start slowing down up there in Buffalo within the next hour. Let me know if I'm wrong, Julie, about that, but that should be slowing down. I know it still looks like you have some banding over you. All right. And also, I want to know how much you've gotten over these last few days. Missy and Zach, I appreciate you. Yeah, generators outside as well, guys. I had a phone call after I asked if Texas, Louisiana might get snow again next week. No, I don't think so. Could they? Yes. But I mean, like less than a 1% chance. We really have no signal for that at all. Yep, run generators outside only. We do not want a structure fire, especially not when your fire hydrant's water is frozen up and firemen cannot access it. Going to be -8 tonight in West Virginia. No surprise on there, Mama Bear. Not a surprise. Yeah, freezing. That's crazy. I had to walk to work this morning in Philly, and I think our feels like was 3 degrees. We had like 15 mile per hour gusts, and I forgot my hat. And so I had bare head with my ears out. I didn't have earmuffs or anything. And I walked 10 minutes into my office, and I was shaking violently, and my face was like red. So I'm bringing my hat tomorrow, and I'm bringing like a face covering because I think tomorrow it's going to be it's going to be even colder than that walking into work. Charlotte, North Carolina could get a little bit more snow. I mean, a little bit more like a dusting to a 1/4 inch. There's a little bit. There's some precipitation still floating around you guys, but I wouldn't expect. That's about all I'd expect. I'd say a dusting's most likely moving forward. Is it going to snow soon in Savannah? Yep. If it's not snowing in Savannah, like actual snow in Savannah in the next hour, I'd be pretty surprised. Could take a little longer, but here, you guys want to look at something? Let's look at what's happening here. Let's look at what are our temperatures in Savannah. Let me go down here a little bit. What are our temperatures in Savannah? 27. I mean, you guys, so you guys are below freezing down at the surface, which is good. Now, the issue you're having is there's warm air aloft, warm air above your heads, and you have the snow's falling, it's entering a pocket of warm air, and it's not having time to refreeze before it hits the ground. So it's hitting the surface, which is below freezing, and it's turning into ice. So that should stop very shortly. You have mid-layer, very below freezing temperatures currently moving into Savannah. It's going to push that warm air off the coast. This frontal boundary right here is fighting this warm air, this coastal warm air, and it's currently, as we speak, shoving it off coast or off the eastern seaboard there. So I thought you may have already converted over to snow, but if you didn't, it's going to happen soon. Already made 5 snow angels. Our snow in Raleigh, North Carolina stopped. Yeah. Hey, you guys were looking like you might not get any a couple days ago, though. So, tap, 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 tap. What's going on, Pam? Well, Houston's done. Not for the winter. Well, maybe for the winter. Actually, probably for the winter. But that's not for sure. Not the area you're focusing on. Why is it so windy in Minnesota? I'm getting derecho flashbacks. Is it? Oh, playing moderator. What's going on? What's going on up in? Let me see something. What's going on up in Minneapolis? Let's see. What's going on up in Minneapolis? I'm only seeing like 15 mile per hour winds in Minneapolis. Oh, you guys can't really see that. Let me show you this. Interesting. I'm seeing 15 mile per hour northerly winds. Is it really that windy right there? Do you guys have some pretty strong gusts? Let's take a look at something real quick. Let's go into windy. You know why windy's good? Because you can see wind. Let's take a look at our wind right now. You do have some decent wind moving through here. Oh, nope. Look at that. Actually, I lied. Look at that. I was right. 15. Guys, if you ever wonder how these little barbs work, you ever seen these little things that look like this? Or they look like this? Okay? They look like this. That's what's all over this map. This means wind is moving from the south. That's southerly wind. This is 10. This is 5. That's 15 mile per hour winds moving from the south. So that's what's going on with that. Alrighty. Let's get back over to this insane system that we have. And what are our winds like? That's what I'm also interested in. We have, yeah, some okay winds. Some okay. I mean, nothing crazy down here. You actually have some heavy winds around Sarasota. We can see our temperatures here. Yeah, Savannah 28. Don't worry. Your cooler air is moving into the mid layers. This will turn to snow. It's gonna turn to snow. Okay, Savannah. I feel like I'm talking to a girl, Savannah. It's gonna turn to snow. How much more in Greenville, North Carolina? Boone, North Carolina for next week? Yeah, there's some models that want to put a little snow into Appalachia. We need a little bit more time on that. We need a little bit more time on that. Yeah, Greenville, I wouldn't expect much more snow in Greenville, if any. We do have our cameras here still. Look at this snow out here. One second, guys. Look at this. It's not loading very well. We're going to stay off the cameras for a second. It's so hard to see at nighttime, too. How much more snow in Wilson? Okay, wait. 1 second, guys. Dallas? What about Dallas? You're not getting any more snow from this storm. Any snow Palm Coast, Florida? If you get anything, it's going to be mixing and ice. I don't even think you're going to get ice down there. I think you might get some mixing, though. Will we get any more in Raleigh? There's a chance for a little bit more in Raleigh, but it's not going to be any more heavy accumulations. Southwestern Virginia, I would not expect you to get any snow. No. The bottom snowstorm shifted up. And this is how it was supposed to be laid out. Again, I'm showing it to you like this. Again, we have some mixing happening in here, but I'm showing it to you like this because if I were to show you this as like a winter, here's this might be I'll show it to you like this. Let me do this so you guys can kind of see. Let's go into precipitation type. Savannah. Look how close you are right here. Do you see this? Look how close you are. Look how close your snow line is. This is all snow right here. Look at that. It's coming. The snow line's pushing. Charleston as well. If it's not already snowing there, the snow line's pushing. You're right there, Charleston. You can see up here in North Carolina, it's pretty much all snow. Tallahassee's been dealing with a little bit of mixing. Tallahassee's in all snow right now. Jacksonville still seeing rain, but this is going to change over the next probably 4 to 5 hours. We'll get a little mixing into Jacksonville. There's like 1 or 2 models that want to put an inch into Jacksonville on the back end. It's not impossible, but it's going to be tough. Missy, I appreciate you. Driving me bonkers. Like, I appreciate you. Yep. Like she said, we're only halfway through winter, guys. The biggest snowstorms in the 9 of the 10 biggest snowstorms, just for so you guys know in chat, in U.S. history, have happened in February and March. Just letting you know. You get a lot more moisture as you push into spring. That wants to push up into the lower 48 from the Gulf and from the Atlantic, and your biggest, especially your biggest eastern snowstorms, have all happened in February and March. So, yeah, people are like, it's January 20th. Yeah, we're halfway there. January 21st. Again, for anyone worrying about this, right on the coast, look at your snow line. Look at your snow line, Savannah. It's coming. If you're in Valdosta, you're still not seeing snow. This brown area is about to transition. It's moving. It's moving quickly. So I want to show you something here. Let's move this into. Let's 1 second, guys. Let me move this forwards. So this would be, what time is it right now? 9, 10, 11. I mean, by 2 a.m., 12 a.m., this is a little behind. This thing's 2 a.m. I don't think you're 2.5 hours or 3 hours away from snow. I think you're closer to an hour and a half away from that all being snow. But it's all going to transition to snow. And you know what happens around in 2 to 3 hours for you guys? Let's just go back and look at what will be moving over your heads. This. Right here. This is a lot of heavy snow. This is an inch plus of snowfall of snow per hour. You're nice, fluffy, good snowfall, especially once you get that mid layer to cool down. So you're good. You guys are going to be good on the coast. Susan, I appreciate you. I'm literally so mad that most of Virginia didn't get snow. There's so many people that are so mad that they didn't get snow all over the country. You know who has the right to be really mad right now? Because I know Charlotte kind of got screwed. They got a lot of snow to the west in North Carolina and to the east already this winter. You know who has the right to be the most screwed or mad right now is the northern plains in Minnesota. They're like super snow drought. They're like super snow drought. The Southwest has been baking and dry. Although I don't really feel any pity for the Southwest because, our government, our society built a bunch of cities in a desert, and so people complain out there that it's hot and not raining, and it's like, well, you live in a desert, so I feel bad. I feel bad for them, but I don't feel bad for them. If you choose to live in a desert and you don't see any precipitation for long periods of time, it's like, what are you gonna do? That's the American Southwest. So, but you guys have been struggling up here. You guys have been struggling up here, especially because you got to remember these people. I mean, up in like Minneapolis, what's your average snowfall per year? Like 50, 60 inches or something crazy like that. Like you guys, what have you gotten this winter? Like 8? So that's actually the struggle bus. For if you want to talk about underperforming. A lot of places down here, your average is like an inch a year. So you can't even talk about underperforming. We're halfway through winter. 19 more weekends till summer. Julie knows. She hates winter. Do you think the Southeast is done for snow this year, or is it too unpredictable? Too unpredictable. I was confident in 2 snowstorms in January. I was confident in 1, and I said 2 wouldn't surprise me, and there'd be a possibility for 3. But I actually think in my video I said I expected 2. I expected 2 snowstorms in January. You know what? It's all on my page. You can go and look at it. I talked about southern snow a lot, especially at the end of December. I talked about southern snow a lot in January. I don't want to predict any more southern snow, though, because February, I think, is going to be a significant warm-up, and our storm tracks aren't going to be set up for snowstorms down here in the southeast, or really even in the south central. So we'll give it a couple weeks, and I think the end of February, beginning of March, we could get a late snowstorm. I don't know if we're going to see it super far south. That's much harder in late February and March, but maybe through the Tennessee Valley, maybe through parts of the Carolinas. We'll see. But that's too unpredictable right now, yeah. I think it could be very active for the Northeast in late February and March as well. 4 inches total in Alberta, Minnesota. Yeah. Minnesota has been on a struggle bus. No Nashville? What'd you guys get? Nashville got like 4 or 5 inches already this year, right? What's your average? What's Nashville's average snowfall? 4.7. Nashville already hit their average snowfall per year. So, any more is just a, cherry on top. I live in LA and I got 12 inches of snow. Oh, Louisiana? Yeah, LA. Let's Louisiana. Yeah. They haven't reported 12 inches in Louisiana yet. I've seen 10.5, but I think they're just delayed on their reports. Mobile, look at that. 8.5. Pensacola. 9 inches. You guys are crazy. Let's see. Up here towards Myrtle Beach. We're pushing 2 to 4 already. These are delayed though, so these are delayed totals. What's that? 11:15. Okay. How much do I project Fayetteville will get? How much do you have right now? Because your snow totals are going to start going down here very shortly. You're going to see, I don't think you're going to see any big heavy banding anymore, but you're going to see some light snow showers. So if you guys got another inch, I think I'd be pretty surprised, but it's possible. There's a decent band moving through Florence up towards the northeast, towards Fayetteville right now. So if that can hold north, that could be a good amount of snow still on the back end of this. But the snow's being compressed down right now. So you can see this band right here. If this can continue north, that could dump another inch into Fayetteville. But this is really starting to get this is going to really start to get smushed out into the coast. So out here, you're almost done. You're almost done with snow out there. To the west of Raleigh, Columbia West, Augusta West, Macon West, kind of ending out there. Pawleys Island. Is that where Paw Patrol lives? Pawleys Island. Sorry, my son, I have Paw Patrol. He just watches that over and over and over again, and it's stuck in my head. Maybe this is where they're from. It's spelled Paw, P-A-W. How much are you projected? You guys are projected about 5 inches, but again, we've been getting crazy over performances everywhere, so who knows? You guys are expected to get an inch per hour snow later into the morning. So an inch per hour. You could overperform. W, I appreciate you. What is showing in northeast Georgia right now? Not much, just some clouds. We don't really have any sort of convection up here. We just have some cloud coverage, some moisture, but not actually steep convection that's going to put anything on the surface. Yeah. Yeah, nothing. You've got moisture in the atmosphere, but nothing that's going to dump down to the surface. Don't worry, Chase is on the case. That's right. Yeah, it's delayed. We have almost 4 in Myrtle. Yeah, they're always delayed by about an hour, and you guys have gotten some good snow bands moved through. Sometimes they're delayed by about 2 hours. Jacksonville, Florida. Again, yeah, a lot of people are asking about that. There's a potential for some good snow to move in on the back end. The HRRR model likes it. No other model likes it. I'll give you guys about a 20 to 30% chance to see an inch of snow in Jacksonville. But that's, again, that's giving you almost a 75% chance you're not going to see anything. But the HRRR is a really good model. The HRRR is a really good... One second, I need to look at my phone. The HRRR is supposed to be your best short range, and we're within 6 hours now. So the fact that it sees some cold air moving into Jacksonville, and this thing kind of digging into Jacksonville after, gives you a chance. But there's no model consensus around that. It's the only model. It's the only model that wants snow in Jacksonville. So I'd cross your fingers and cross your toes and pray. $3,800 followers away from 100K. If I get that this week, what's the date? If I get that this weekend, I'm celebrating it on stream. Thank you to anyone who's followed or subbed. I appreciate you guys. This is crazy. I started posting daily and live streaming daily, guys, like 3.5 months ago. I never took TikTok seriously until 3.5 months ago. I think about 4 months ago, I had 500 followers. So you want to talk about like the craziest winter or season of my life? It's been insane, and I appreciate all of you. Anyone who's, especially, there's a lot of people who I know have been here who literally like when I was at like 1,000 followers, were like, hey, I like your page, and they're still here, and they're still in my lives, and you guys are awesome. Nora, Miss Such a Lady, W Sissy Jean, I appreciate you guys. Susan, thank you guys. And of course, Lake, you're killing it. We were getting some flurries, random. Yeah. If you have any sort of, that can happen. Okay, it's definitely different with snow as well, because if you're not seeing really anything on the radar and you have clouds above your head and it's rain, that's typically going to be held up. That's typically going to be held up in the cloud. But snow is a weird precipitation. Snow is weird, and how the dew points and how humidity works with it. You can see burst. That's why, like we were talking about yesterday, how I was like, someone's gonna see some random snow flowing through here, accumulating, even though we're not really gonna see any sort of convection, any sort of strong convection bubbles up here. Yeah, that's why I said, like, I wouldn't be surprised if like areas of southeastern Jersey got some snow flowing through the air and a tiny bit of accumulation tonight. Snow moves differently. Snow can also move over a much larger area. If you have snow falling up here, that snow can drift as well, pretty far. Unlike rain. Pretty much done, Atlanta. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, Raleigh, North Carolina, you've got a little bit of convection over your head. It's not impossible to get a little bit more snow, but your heavy snowfall is likely done. Local weatherman said we were getting 1 to 3 inches of snow. We've got 9 so far. Albany, Georgia. Yeah, well, again, that has to do with banding. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Yeah, I mean, you were right on the line. I mean, you guys probably know these cities. I don't know them as well. But like Dawson, that's right up the road and that's not really right up the road. I don't know how far that is for you guys, 45 minutes or something. But I'd assume Dawson and anything right up here, maybe 20, 30 miles to your northwest, may have gotten 5 to 6 less inches of you. It's really close. Is Mesomat in here? Mesomat, what's going on? So Matt, Mesomat's in here, guys. MESOMATT. He does the same thing I do, except for he live streams a lot more because he is doing this full time. And yeah, that's your guy for severe weather coverage, winter storm coverage. So if you like my stuff, show him some love. Go and follow. As a Matt. What's going on, dude? I want your opinion on something. This right here. Some of this is mixing actually through here. We're expecting this transition into snow, I think, within an hour. Some models think within 2 to 3 hours. I mean, I'm thinking over an inch an hour accumulation is possible through Savannah for a few hours. What's your opinion on that, Matt? You're sick? Why are you sick? You're not allowed to be sick. How are people going to get their weather? Through me? I'm way less reliable. No, I'm just kidding. No, we have people in Savannah worrying because they've been seeing mixing and ice all night. It's going to Savannah for sure. And yes, I think 1 to 2 inches per hour. Yeah. I'll lock in 1.5 inches per hour snowfall for a few hours in Savannah. It's gonna be an intense burst of snow. You potentially could see maybe 2 more hours of mixing. I think an hour. So it's gonna crank up, and then that's gonna head for you, Charleston. At least an inch per hour, probably Charleston up to Myrtle Beach, and then eventually, we've seen snow falling up here in North Carolina up the coast. We have not seen these crazy accumulation. We haven't seen these crazy inch and a half an hour type accumulations, but I think that's coming. But your snow is ahead of schedule. That's why some areas up here are already pushing 2 to 4 inches, which is way ahead of schedule. Way ahead of schedule. I'm just gonna go to the beach to play in the snow. Yeah. Yeah. Snow on the beach. I can't believe I haven't been seeing. Well, I've been on. Maybe it's starting now or tomorrow. I thought there'd be like Swifties just with snow on the beach. TikToks. You know that Snow on the Beach Taylor Swift song? Just TikToks with that playing. My wife brought that up, and I was like, "That's so true." How do we not see videos all over TikTok with snow on the beach? Where are you at, Swifties? There are so many TikToks already. Have you seen those? Maybe you know what? I'm not on the Swifty side of TikTok. There are? Okay. It's not in my algorithm. You saw some, Bam? Okay. Never mind. My app says it's snowing here in Jacksonville. Does it? Let's see. Let us see. Your app says, are you talking about Jacksonville, Florida? Oh yeah. I know. It says it's gonna blizzard in Jacksonville, Florida. One second. It says it's gonna blizzard in Jacksonville, Florida. Mezzo, I don't know if you're still in here. Can you guys see that? God, this camera needs to adjust. One second. Let me get this to adjust. It says it's going to blizzard in Jacksonville, Florida for like 5 hours. Heavy snowfall. I'm going to say no. Your Jacksonville. Is this really Jacksonville, Florida? There's no way that this app is this stupid. One second. Let me just double check. Yeah. Okay. Matt, I don't know if you're still in here. The Jacksonville, Florida app right now is saying 6 inches of snow into Jacksonville, Florida. I can't believe it. Hold up. 6 inches? 6 inches of snow? That's what their weather app is saying? Guys, again, I hope you get 6 inches of snow. I hope you get 6 inches of snow. I hope you get any snow, but 6 inches would blow my mind. Someone said it's been snowing. You're telling me right now it's snowing in Jacksonville, Florida? Snow will fall starting. So there's a lot of people in here who are convinced you guys are going to get a lot of accumulation into Jacksonville, Florida. My app says it. I'm in Jackson. It's not snowing. Weather app says snowing, but there's rain. Let me explain to you guys something. Let me explain to you what's going to happen in Jacksonville, Florida. What I think is going to happen in Jacksonville, Florida. The last snowstorm we had pushed through the south, it showed 6 hours of heavy snowfall in Charlotte on the app. It said Charlotte was going to get 4 to 5 inches of snow. And what happened? They got about 1/10 of an inch of snow because the app saw all of that sleet and mixing and freezing rain and just said it's all going to be snow. Yes, Mesomat said Jacksonville should be mostly freezing rain and sleet. There is a chance, okay, because I don't want to like crush all your hopes and dreams in Jacksonville. I just want to tame your expectations. There is a chance there's a kind of look from the HRRR that wants to tug in a little bit of snow last second into Jacksonville, where maybe you get like an hour of pure snowfall, and that could end up being an inch or two. There's a chance. I think you're going to end up with the dusting, freezing rain, and sleet. Right now I'm saying, for all you, I hope I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I hope I'm wrong and you guys get a ton of accumulating snow in Jacksonville. My cousin Molly lives there. She really wants to see it. And I hope I'm wrong. I've seen this before. Your weather app is tripping. Tripping. So the iPhone app is wrong, I guess. The iPhone app is wrong all the time. I can't tell you how many times I've said it's wrong on stream and then it ends up being wrong. But maybe this is the time. Maybe this is the time that it's right. I'm excited to see what happens. And as much as I hate being wrong, I'd be fine with being wrong this time. But from my experience, guys, let's just look at what the Windy app says here, okay? This is a pretty decent one. Let's just look at what the Windy app says here. I wasn't precipitation type. Let's move forward in time here. Okay, so you've got freezing rain. Freezing rain still. We're pushing into 7 a.m. Freezing rain still. 9 a.m. Maybe a little snow, and then it's gone. And I think this is a better representation of what we're expecting to see in Jacksonville. Now, there's a chance, I think, that really far on the back end, a little bit of snow gets pulled into this region. But again, your weather app is just, everyone screenshot that. I'm going to screenshot it. Don't worry. And I'm going to make a video on it. 5 to 6 inches of snow. Let's, okay. I'm going to screen record this real quick so I can make a video about it. Hold up. 1 second, guys. Okay, 5 to 6 inches of snow into Jacksonville. That's what the weather app says right now, and it says that's going to happen over the next 6 hours. Okay. All right. Hopefully, I don't look like an idiot, but if I do, I'm okay with it. I would love you guys to get 6 inches of snow. All right, Mezzo, I appreciate you. GG. Sparkles, Wesley, PPD, I appreciate you. Let me see. GFS is showing snow till 8 a.m. in eastern North Carolina. Yeah, I can agree with that. Christian, please tell me it's going to shift west a bit and hit the triad. It's not going to shift west. It's going east, unfortunately. Can upstate South Carolina get an inch? Upstate's not really going to get really much more snow. Yeah, it should be done for the night. Other than some scattered snow showers. Light. How much more snow do you think Long Island, New York is going to get for the rest of the year? That is an impossible question to answer. I think we could see some good snow entering mid to late February and in the beginning of March. I'll tell you that, but we're going to have a slowdown here for a little bit of time. I'm still watching the system end of January, though. We'll see how the Euro starts to adjust to that. The GFS still likes a little bit of snow through Long Island with that. Appreciate you, Wesley. What's up with the radar hole? I know. Look, so stupid. So stupid. And I know this isn't affecting this little region. This is definitely affecting all of this through here. This is annoying. It's because that radar's out in South Carolina, right? Right, Matt? Mine keeps updating to the next hour. More snow now until 3 a.m. in Franklin County, North Carolina. Jacksonville, North Carolina. Yeah, I think we've talked about that a few times. This stream, you guys are somewhere into here, right? You guys are somewhere into here. You guys are supposed to get some decent snow. Yeah, I mean, you guys low end. Your guys' low end looks like 4 inches. Your high end looks like 9. It's crazy. These totals have been these totals have been being pushed up all day. I mean, your low end's probably higher than 4. I mean, how much snow do you have on the ground there right now? That's what I want to know. Raleigh's not going to see much more snow tonight, but you could see, I don't know. You could see another half inch maybe, but most of this stuff is pushing off east, guys. This stuff is getting out of your hair. Holly, we just talked about Jacksonville, Florida. I know it says you're going to get 5 to 6 inches. If you get an inch, I think you'll be lucky. I know the weather app says that. We live in a vortex. Jacksonville snow. Jacksonville, Florida is unlikely. I know the app says you're getting 5 to 6 inches, but I think the weather app's been drinking down in Jacksonville. Had one too many drinks, you know what I mean? Wesley, I appreciate you. Again, I like using this radar because your winter weather radar is going to show snow everywhere. This is a good one for seeing how our bands are really setting up here. Just to the southeast of Albany there. Got some good bands set up from Greenville, just to the southeast of Fayetteville, North Carolina. Some good snow. Havelock. Between Havelock and Wilmington. I probably pronounced that wrong, but I'm okay with it. Brunswick, I know this is probably a lot of mixing for you guys down there in Georgia right now. Jacksonville's 2 inches, North Carolina. Okay. Well, that's good already to have that because your heaviest snow still yet to sweep through. When do you think the Northern Plains will get more snow, whether it's next year or this year? You'll get more snow in February. You're not gonna. It would be. I don't see you guys being anywhere as dry as you were in January and February. You'll see it up in snow, and I would bet a lot of money on a much better February than January. And the Northern Plains, your jet stream is going to be favoring the Midwest and Northern Plains through a decent portion of February, I think, based on our outlook. So, but I'm going to keep my eye on that. I use the weather. I know, for anyone who watches me, and I know it looks like I'm always focusing on the East. But hello, this has been a crazy winter out east. We've had troughing out east almost all winter, and ridging out west, which is drier and warmer conditions. So I'm looking where the action is. I mean, right now I'm in the southeast. I do not live down here. These southern snowstorms I've been covering have not been in my area. So Savannah, Georgia. Yep, don't worry. You guys are switching over to snow. You guys are still projected to get 4 to 5, potentially on the low end. So. A lot of you keep asking about Jacksonville. It's raining now in Brunswick. When do you think it will snow? Yeah, Brunswick's tough. Let's look at what our National Weather Service thinks. It's saying, Brunswick's your switch over to snow is going to take longer than Savannah. Savannah's right on the cusp of switching over to snow. That's going to be tougher in Brunswick. Let's see what Wendy thinks here. Although I think it's delayed on Savannah. It really wants to wait till almost 6 a.m. to convert you over to snow. And that's not going to leave a lot of time for accumulation. But again, if that transition happens an hour ahead of schedule, that hour could be an inch or two based on some of that precipitation that you're going to have flowing through the area. So it's a close call. You're really close. There's a lot of models that want to put a lot of ice in mixing through Brunswick, but I'm still expecting some snow accumulation. Let's see. Okay. I want to do a sub-only chat for a little bit, or a live on TikTok with sub-only chat. So I'll continue this conversation on TikTok for a little bit, but it's going to be sub-only chat. I've been streaming. What have I been streaming now? 2 hours. And I literally got home from work, made a video, put my kid to bed, and got on here. So I'm going to do sub-only chat for a little bit, and then I need to get ready for bed. I got to get back to the office. Very, 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 very early in the morning. Be walking into the office at 7, 8 a.m. in 5-degree weather. That's going to be a good experience. Anyone who's in here, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for just being in here and engaging. You guys are awesome. Again, I'm going to be posting. I wanted to post actually 2 videos today, and I literally ran out of time. But 1 or 2 videos a day and streaming every single night with all these type of updates. I really tomorrow want to get into what the totals actually were everywhere and what we were looking at, because it's good, I think, going back and saying, okay, what did we expect and what did we see and what did we maybe get wrong, because then you can learn from each snowstorm. The thing is about our troposphere is it's so variable. No 2 snowstorms are ever the same. You're never going to predict any sort of storm with 100% accuracy, and if you think you're in the wrong field. This stuff is difficult, but it's fun. And I appreciate you guys being in here and spending some time with me looking at this. I'm going to, like I said, go over to TikTok for a little bit, 15, 20 minutes to do a sub-only chat. Thank you guys. Thank you. I appreciate you all. And I'll see you maybe tomorrow. If I don't, maybe the next day. But I'll keep posting if you want to. I try to answer as many comments as I can and as many inboxes as I can. But guys, one person, it's tough. It's tough. When I'm doing this full time, I'll be much better at when I don't have 2 jobs and this is my only job, I'll be much better at it. I appreciate you guys. And I will see you tomorrow. And I'll be, again, 15 to 20 minutes back on TikTok here in about 5 minutes for sub-only chat.